Hey guys, this is Jake with Think Free Live Free. This is a little bit of a different video. I'm having issues with my Ram Promaster 2015. My radiator fans are not turning on. It looks like the whole radiator assembly, I need to replace that. Hopefully it will be helpful to some people out there that's also having problems with their radiator assembly. I did order a new part for the two fans, so I'm gonna try to put that in. When you start out, you got 4 torx bolts here, and they're T27s. And take those 4 out, and then you have 2 plastic ones that sit down here. I'm gonna take those out, and then this whole thing comes out. And the next step would be to take these out. There's 4 on that side, 2 on the top, and then another 4, and I believe there's 1 right there and 1 on the other side. And then we have to go underneath, and as you can see there, we have 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there, so there's 4 in total. So I've loosened this entire assembly. I'm going to lift that off now. So now the next thing is to work on this piece, getting that off. The next step is to remove these bolts. There's 1, 2, and 3 on the inside there. So 1, 2, and 3, I've already removed those. So the next step, I'm going to be loosening the coolant reservoir here, so that we can tuck that out of the way. And then I'm going to lean this back and bunge it up here somewhere. These are 10mm bolts, 3 of them. There's 2 bolts here as well, 13mm bolts. You're going to take that off. The radiator attaches to that. After you got all that loosened, you're going to remove the 10mm bolt on the reservoir here, and then you're just going to lift this up and push it out of the way a little bit over there. I did loosen this hose here just to give it a little bit more room there to move. I'm just gonna kind of lift that up and let it lean back over here. And the next thing we're gonna do is remove this clamp. I'm gonna loosen this clamp and loosen this charge pipe so that we can pull this core part back like this, so that we can get to the fans. So I got the hose clamp loosened, and then I lifted this core part up. I had to adjust the water reservoir there a little bit so that this could feed through, and then I just kind of leaned it back into the engine bay and bunged it around this area here. That should give me enough space to get in here to replace the fan. The next step is to take this hose that goes to the water bottle or the coolant bottle and kind of tuck that into the engine bay there, so that we pass the fan here, fans. And then next thing is to unclip these clamps here from the hoses. I've already done this one. You can use a flathead screwdriver, or you can just do it by hand. It worked for me by hand. And then there's another one down there, and another one further down. You might want to go underneath and unclip that last one. Okay? And then we'll start working on the wiring harness here and pulling this fan out. So the next thing to do is to loosen the fans. It's got a little clip on each side. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver, and you just kind of push that in and then pull the fan up. It's got a little clip right there. I'm going to push that in and pull the fan up. The same on this side. Once we get the fan lifted up, we'll be able to pull these tabs off the harness from the back side. It just makes it a lot easier. Let me go ahead and do this side. As you can see there, I'm pushing that in, and then you pull the fan up, and then it will release that clip, and then I'll do the other side. I got the tabs loosened on both sides. As you can see here, this is pulled up. Fan is loose now. You can probably see it better now, the little tab right there. And so the next thing is to take this off, the radiator hose here. So we're going to pry this clip off, and then we're going to pull this off. Make sure you put something underneath to catch. There's not going to be a lot coming out, probably about a quart. I'm going to use this little hook tool to pry this clip out. As you can see there's a clip. I've already pulled it out quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this hose now, and make sure you have some kind of catch underneath. Alright guys, so this radiator hose cap here that I removed was really difficult to get off. I had to pry on it, pull, and kind of twist at the same time. But it's finally off, so that means that the fan can now come out, and I can start removing the harness, which is easier when you pull it up. You can access the tabs from the back, which makes it a lot easier. And as you're lifting this out, make sure to lift it out past this part here. So I'm slowly lifting this out. You gotta pass the head here of the radiator, so you got to lift it out that way towards the right side, and then it will clear one of the hoses down here. So this is slowly coming up, but as I'm pulling it up, I am disconnecting these clips, and just use needle nose pliers from the back, squeeze them, and then push them through. They're coming loose pretty easily. However, some of these harness adapters are not. I was able to get these blue ones off, and this one I am not able to pull out. I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep trying at that. So as this comes looser, your harness, you'll be able to lift this whole thing out, and then it might be easier to undo some of these. However, at the moment, I still have one connector here that I need to get loose before I can see if I can pull this out, and then loosen the remaining connectors. Alright guys, so I was able to lift out my fan, and I got it all disconnected from my harness. So here's the old fan. You can see it's pretty bad. It wiggles quite a bit. That was the issue, and this fan didn't come on at all. So the next thing, make sure to transfer your hose clamps. There's 4 of them, and there. So I just transferred them over onto this one. You can see there. And then at the bottom there. So so this new one is ready to go back in, so I'm going to put that back in. Now everything is pretty much just the reverse. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the new fan. I'm not going to attach the harness to it. I'm just going to feed it into the van and get it into place, and then I'll connect my harness. So I got my harness all situated. It's really easy to get that on there once your fan is in there. You can also get underneath and plug things in like that, but it's really easy to plug things in. It's really hard to remove them. So got my radiator cap back on there. Got everything plugged in here. The only thing now is I got my hose clamps on there as well. So the next thing is to get this core assembly back down and situate this hose onto here, and then pull this back and get the core unit put back, and then we can put the water reservoir back. So basically we're just doing, you know, putting everything back the way we took it off. So yeah, the new fan is in there. It was 106 here today, so I decided to start later in the day, so that's why it's nighttime. It's just a lot cooler to work at night. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hope this helps some of you out there that's having problems with your radiator fans. You know what, if you go step by step, anybody can do this. Okay, so I removed the bungee, and first thing, I put this charge hose back in there, and then I flipped this over, and I had to get this metal part in between this plastic here and also on this side there, as you can see, and then you have to kind of pull back the radiator here for this to fit in. So that's all fit in now. I can start putting my bolts back on here. There's 3 bolts on each side, and connect my water tank reservoir. So I got that bolt on there, and in that enclosure there. So these 3 plus these 3 on this side, and you're good to go. And then last but not least, don't forget to tighten your clamp on your charge hose there, and then to put the bolt in for your water reservoir. And it's just 1 bolt right there. Make sure they go into the little grommets there, as you can see down there. Alright, so the next step is to get these things put back. Okay, so before you put your trim on, you gotta attach your radiator to the core assembly here. That's gonna be this main bolt right here. So you're gonna want to lift up on your radiator just a little bit so that this screw can go in straight and not at an angle. That way you know everything is lined up correctly. The same on this side. Make sure that once you fasten that everything is lined up correctly, everything is solid. Okay, so I got my trim piece on there. I just put it on by hand, so now I'm gonna put all the bolts on. And just to make it easier on yourself, put them in separate containers. That way you know how many you had, and that you get everything back to where it's supposed to go. We got all of those attached, and then our final piece is for the grill, just right here. And this piece just sits on top like this. So she's all put back together. Final piece on there. And hopefully the fan works. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Jake with Think Free Live Free. Please hit the like button, please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. I hope this is helpful for some people out there with their Ram Promaster and having issues with their radiator fans. The part cost me $200 and nothing for the labor, so I hope this video helps. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Bye.